I keep saying that. You should make this into a drinking game. Whenever I say until next time, you take a shot. Unless you're underage, and then you take a sippy cup. And then you take a wee scoosh of your Capri Sun, you know? It's just awesome. I could fangirl about the grapple hook day and night. Honestly, it's innovation in technology. And hello there, troops. We are here doing something a little different. Maybe the last review, second last review of the year. And in case you haven't noticed, I'm going to assume it's on the screen right now that we are going to be doing a review of Halo Infinite. And you're watching Ace of Space Gaming, and your host for today, myself, is Thumbs. I do weird intros, I don't know. It's Christmas! But it is Christmas, so that's why we're not doing the usual, or it's the holiday season, sorry, whatever you celebrate. Do you. But, yeah, that's why we're not doing, like, the usual lineup this week, and we're gonna have a couple of days off, because obviously, you know, I want to spend time with my family, and play my new games. Nah, I'm kidding. But, so yeah, it's gonna be crazy, but I'm gonna try and put as much out as I can. So, for today, we're doing Halo Infinite review, because I haven't put it on the channel, but I might at some point next year. But we have played Halo 1 and 2 on the channel, so I guess I kind of want to maybe give you a small review, as small as I can. I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet. I know I say that every time, but I'm genuinely going to try this time, and just to kind of catch you up, because we haven't played 3 or 4, and you kind of need them to know what's happening in Infinite. And I'll tell you all about it, guys. I'll tell you all about it. So, I kind of just want to go more over maybe Master Chief and Cortana's relationship as well, because it plays a big part in Halo Infinite. And it's something I'm so glad that they brought out. I mean, straight after the bat, Halo Infinite has been... I only played Halo 5 once. And I think I played Halo 4 like maybe twice. No, I think I played 4 once and then never again. Because the ending of that was upsetting. But Halo 5, as far as I'm aware, nobody likes Halo 5, so that kind of just gets retconned, and everybody's like, ugh, Halo what? But I'll still go over it anyway. But straight off the bat, I think Halo Infinite has been amazing, and I guess I'll give you a summary now instead of just being all over. This is probably gonna be all over the place. I'm terrible at management. But I hope you can stick along, troops. I hope you can bear with me. So thank you for bearing with me. And if you haven't, then please come along and join the family. Join Ace of Space Gaming and subscribe to the channel. And we have videos out, or I have videos out every Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And, you know, it's full of rubbish. It's full of me talking garbage, but really good games. So you get the best of both worlds, really. And if you haven't, like the video, because I like to think there's going to be something in this video that everybody will like. There might not be. You might not like Halo, so you might think this is rubbish, but then don't watch it. But if you have subscribed, then please put your notification bell on so that you know when my videos are out. I know I just told you, but you can get like first glimpse on videos. Anyway, summary time. You know what? I'm not going to tell you about Halo 1. I'm going to tell you briefly. There was a species called the Precursors, and they were the most ancient race kinda in the Halo universe, and they created the Forerunners. Okay, this might get confusing, but just bear with me. The Precursors created the Forerunners, and this advanced species is transsentient, meaning they can connect with the universe on a profound level. Take for that what you want. Okay, but the Precursors basically put the Forerunners in charge to be the protectors of the universe, and that, I guess that was kind of called the mantle of responsibility, like the position that the Forerunners were put into. And then the Forerunners, being the protectors of the galaxy and having the mantle of responsibility, they wanted to be as advanced as the Precursors were. It's the classic case of the Geth and the Quarians. You create a species and they want to be as smart as you, and does this unit have a soul? You know, it's a classic case of that, I feel. But obviously the Precursors didn't want the Forerunners being that advanced, so stripped the Forerunners of the mantle of responsibility, and they were apparently going to put ancient humans on this new mantle, or they were going to put humans on the mantle to protect the universe. Ancient humans as well, so not modern, not modern day. Of course, the Forerunners were not happy that the humans were going to get put on the mantle instead of them, but they did get cocky and wanted a lot of power, so that's their own fault, really. So they waged a war against the Forerunners waged a war against precursors, and basically the precursors didn't see it coming, and they almost got wiped out. But apparently they lay dormant as a molecular dust now. They're like these precursor guys. And that's apparently, I feel like I'm just figuring this out. Like, I'm reading an article here, and just so that I can try and fill you all in, and fill myself in as well. There's some gaps, definitely. But I feel like I'm just figuring this out, that this molecular dust that were the precursors, and basically like the biggest species of the galaxy, or the universe, or the dust became infected as time went on and corrupted by the precursors' rage at their betrayal. So the precursors felt so betrayed that their dust got corrupted, and then it started to mutate. And then do you know what that became? Corrupted, mutated dust. Became the Flood. Those things that we fought in Halo 1 and 2, they're horrible. Like, they're amazing enemies, but I hate fighting them. They're just, ugh. But they're good enemies, but they're the precursors. Space dust, basically. Who knew? I didn't know that. I think that's really cool. So, you got the precursors, Forerunners, who are real important, because they're still getting mentioned, and then we got the Flood. And then, as you saw, years later, apparently the Flood broke back out on the ring in Halo 1, and we saw the outcome of that, and then you have to blow up the ring. We have the Covenant, who have the Ungoi and the Sangeli, who are grunts and elites, and then you have the Brutes, they're all like the enemies in that, and of the Master Chief and humanity. Basically the Covenant and the Prophets, like the horrible old guys with the ears, or the old aliens with the horrible ears. They basically they were a fanatical religious group, like with the prophets and that, who basically they kind of worshipped the Forerunners, and they wanted to complete the Forerunners' journey of firing off the rings. Now the Forerunners created the rings? Yeah. Or the Forerunners built the rings, or they at least built the ring in the first Halo. And that's why we end up going to the first ring, because we're lured there by the Covenant, and there's the war between the Covenant and humans, and by the end of Mass Effect, I keep calling it Mass Effect, by the end of Halo 1, we end up deploying, or blowing up the ring to kill off the Flood, because we can't have them going over the galaxy, and obviously the Master Chief escapes. Again, I'm not going into full details, I'm just trying to summarize. So I'm sorry if you get lost. I'm sure you'll pick it back up somewhere along the road. In Halo 2, we're joined by the Arbiter, who basically uncovered the truth about the Prophets, and that they were... in Halo 2, I'm quite sure the Brutes and the Prophets had they were in cahoots, and they were basically trying to betray the Covenant, or like the Brutes were trying to take the Covenant's place, and then that started a whole other thing. And in Halo 2, the Master Chief and Arbiter had to go. This is where it gets interesting, because you've got Cortana, right? And through Mass Effect 1, Cortana's kind of just leading Master Chief a rune, or just kind of like on this crazy journey, try to blow up the rings so that the Flood doesn't get out. But in Halo 2, at the end of Halo 2, I'm sure you might remember that the Master Chief and at the start, Master Chief and the Arbiter kind of realised that, hey, we're kind of fighting for the same thing right now, so they kind of make a truce and start fighting against the Prophets and stuff, roughly, is what happened. But you may remember that they come across or get captured by Gravemind, which I'm quite sure is like the hive mind of the Flood. I wasn't too sure. That part always kind of confused me, but it was really, really cool. It was kind of scary, especially if you played it back in the original games instead of the Master Chief Collection. It probably didn't look as good, but it was probably still terrifying, And then I'm not quite sure if you remember, but basically, Gravemind lets the Arbiter and Master Chief go so that they can go and kill one of the prophets. I think ish. I'm basically, and basically, I can't even really 100% remember. But basically, what happens at the end of Mass Effect 2, or near the end of Mass Effect, Mass Effect Halo. I keep doing that. God, guys, pull me up whenever I say Mass Effect. Halo. Is that Cortana is left behind with this Gravemind. She is captured by it. And then I haven't played Halo 3 on the channel, which I would kind of really like to do. But in Halo 3, I'm not going to go air at all. Cortana has gone through what's called rampancy, which basically means that she's kind of corrupted. But she started kind of acting weird, I think, at the start of like Halo 3, and yeah, she was. It was an indicator that she was entering rampancy, and basically, I mean, I don't know if it was like at the end of her life or if she was like corrupted kind of thing. And I mean, through all Halo games except for 5, you play as Master Chief, obviously, sometimes the Arbiter, but you're building up this relationship with Cortana, the AI that is really valuable to the UNSC. Because she has like all sorts of battle plans and all that stuff. Like, she's just really important to Earth and humanity as a AI. But during this whole time, her and Master Chief have had this bond that like no one else has ever had. Like, you could go as far as to say that Cortana was maybe John's only friend. Even though she was an AI, they were kind of each other's ride or dies, you know. They were really close. So her going kind of crazy during 3 was kind of like because obviously she started acting different. She started having like doubts and getting mad at things which she never normally done, and you're like, whoa, calm down, Cortana. You know, so it builds up to a lot. It really does. And then summarizing again, at the end of 3, basically what happens is that Master Chief and the Arbiter and some crew head off to the Ark, and this Ark creates a new ring that apparently the Master Chief activates, and it destroys the Flood. But that happening, Master Chief and Cortana get left behind on a broken ship. Flash forward to Halo 4, where Master Chief is going towards Requiem, the Forerunner planet, because they were stranded in space for a bit. And, well, there's a whole thing on Halo 4, and basically we have to go after this thing called the Didact. I don't know, Halo 4, I never remember Halo 4, because, as I said, I only played it once. But we're on the Forerunner planet now. We got walking up by Cortana, and obviously there's Covenant, because the Covenant are everywhere. And it's in Halo 4 where we find out that Cortana is actually nearing the end of her lifespan. The rampancy, yeah. So we find that out for sure in 4. I forgot about that. The Didact is the Forerunner's ultimate warrior, and he just really doesn't like humanity, you know, because of their grudge, because humanity was supposed to be the mantle of responsibility. It's a whole thing with the Didact, you know. And basically, to destroy the Didact, the warrior of the Forerunner, Cortana had to sacrifice her life so that the Master Chief could go through it. And that's actually a really, really, really emotional scene, by the way. That's why I only ever played 4 once, because I could not watch this scene again. I'm hopefully playing this in the background so that you can see it. You may not be able to hear it because I'm talking.
I'm not coming with you this time.
What?
Most of me is down there. I only held enough back to get you off the ship.
No, that's not... We go together.
And then I'm getting this as the summary for 5, but I don't remember this being part of 5. But basically, Cortana, you're kind of left to think that she dies in 4, but she doesn't. But she accessed basically the Forerunner domain, like their whole thing, and apparently found a cure for her rampancy. I don't remember any of this. Maybe I should have paid more attention to Halo 5. I don't know. I played it before this, at least. I'm sorry. If you're a fan of Halo 5, then please tell me. I don't mind. It's not that I hate it. I just genuinely don't remember it. It was so short. So it's not that I'm shitting on it. I don't hate it. I just don't remember it. But then she basically became immortal at that point, and then she has all the Forerunner resources. So she wanted to be, you know how the precursors, they put the Forerunners on the mantle, or to assume the mantle responsibility, and then they were going to put humans on it. Well, because Cortana has all this information, she wants to assume the role, the mantle of responsibility, and apparently bring every living creature under her protection / control. So that doesn't sound good, right? And then Master Chief and his team, apparently, I don't believe that Master Chief wasn't in 5, but there's nothing they can do, basically. So apparently that's how Halo 5 ends. I really don't remember that happening. I don't remember that being a thing. Maybe you do. Let me know if that did happen, if you remember playing it, because I genuinely don't. I'm sorry. But we're not here to talk about all of Halo. I mean, I just wanted to give you a small summary. At some point, Cortana and the Master Chief are great friends. She goes crazy. Then she potentially dies. But then it actually becomes the Forerunner's domain. You know, usual Halo stuff. But the reason I wanted to do this is because at the point I'm almost apparently finished Halo Infinite. I just didn't finish it in time to play this. But we found out, basically. So spoiler alert, if you haven't played Halo Infinite, or I guess any of the Halos, I should have put this at the start. Sorry. But spoiler alert, if you haven't played it, then maybe don't. Or if you're interested and don't care about spoilers, then feel free to watch. But if you do, maybe turn this off at this point now. I do apologise. But we found out that John 117, or Spartan 117, is alive, the Master Chief, and we're picked up. We're given this new thing called the weapon, which is basically Cortana 2.0, and her job was to fool Cortana into a trap because they thought she was gone crazy and evil, corrupted and whatnot, and rampancy. So they wanted to make a trap to lure her in. And that was the weapon's job, as far as I'm aware. I haven't quite grasped all that yet. So that was her job. And we find out that Cortana is alive in Halo Infinite, the newest game that I'm reviewing right now. And my hopes, for what you saw, when you're walking through this game, you'll see memories, you hear parts of Cortana talking to Halsey, who made her. I'm assuming that's who she's talking to. And they're talking about John and the other Spartans at the school and whatnot, or the camp, whatever it's called. And my hopes for the ending of this, I feel like it's not going to end well, but we're definitely going to get to see Cortana, and I think that hopefully we're going to learn why they're so close. Because up until this point, you gather that they've got a bond going on, and that the events of the game have obviously brought them a lot closer together, but I feel like, for what I remember, you might have been told this. I don't know. I don't remember anything. But for what I do remember, you aren't told how that initiates, like, that friendship, like, why they are so close to begin with. And because Master Chief feels like he really let Cortana down when she got left behind in Halo 4. It was his job to protect Cortana, and he feels like he let her down throughout the whole of Halo Infinite. You can tell that he just feels really bad, especially when Cortana 2.0 tries to bring her up. He's just like, nah, I'm not talking about it. So the weapon is trying to, like, create this bond with him, or like she's joking about and all that, and I just feel like the Master Chief's not having it, you know. He doesn't trust the weapon, and she even says that at some point. She's like, what will it take for you to trust me? And I just played a massive part of the game before getting to a boss battle, where again, don't watch this if you haven't played this far, but the weapon, I don't know, I think she gets, like, stolen by the bad guy in Halo Infinite, and it's for 2 seconds, and just for 2 seconds, the Master Chief is about to delete her. And then, no, that has created all sorts of trust barriers there. No, the weapon is like, why did you do that? I thought we had something. Because literally before he was going to do it, she was worried about getting like attacked or something. And Master Chief was like, don't worry, I'll protect you. 2 seconds later, he's like, Samuel, red flag. Delete, delete, delete. So obviously she was like, you said you'd protect me. So that's creating a barrier there. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm hoping we'll get to find out the relationship between Cortana and Master Chief. Maybe through that, it would make the weapon Cortana 2.0 see why he hasn't trusted her this whole time. I don't know. I don't know where the story goes, but if you have completed it and you're watching this, then let me know what you think of the game and how do you think it ranks up to other Halos, because I'm going to get down to it. I'm going to get to the nitty gritty right now. I've done the story, now it's gameplay. No, I know, again, I don't even remember the gameplay of 4 or 5, but I remember 1 to 3, and Halo Reach was absolutely amazing. I never really played ODST, to be honest, but 1, 2, 3 and Reach were absolutely amazing. The gameplay was great, the guns were amazing, the enemies were amazing, the storyline was absolutely beautiful. Halo Infinite, honestly, me and my brother started playing it, and like the first time, like when we had a good couple of hours to like kind of get into it, get a good feel for it, we instantly just went, oh my god, how good is this game? Because my brother was worried about it being bad. I was worried about it. I'm sure a lot of people were really worried about it being bad. Because no offense 343 Industries, but you really messed up with 4 and 5. Or at least 5. You messed up with 5. I mean by bringing the Master Chief at it. But you brought him back, so it's okay. But, like, the gameplay, the fights are so fluid. Like, there's so many play styles you can play. Because now they've beautifully added the absolute amazing tool that is the grappling hook in Halo. And 343s, I know I just kind of shat on you 2 seconds ago, but thank you for putting in a grappling hook. That is the best thing the Master Chief has ever had, is this grapple hook, man. Honestly, I can get about the map in 2 seconds. And see, in my opinion, the best combination for that thing is the grappling hook with the bulldog. Preferably the upgraded bulldog. See if you have that with the grapple hook, man. You can just grapple hook to enemies and just pow, pow. It is so good. Sound effects and all. But honestly, like, it is just so fluid, the battle scenes in this game. They're so nice to just play. It is so fun. I mean, there's been a couple of times where obviously I get frustrated, but that's just because it's been like a slightly harder bit. But this whole game, I've had nothing but fun. Like, the vehicles are fun, driving ghosts are fun, banshees are kind of hard to get used to, but they're fun to, like, see once you get to grips with the banshees, they're really fun to use. All the vehicles, the scorpions, the wasps, and just everything in this game. I mean, and I also kind of like the fact that you can you can save Marines and they can come with you as well. I think that's a really cool aspect, and then like you can get them to jump on your Warthog and all that, and it's just really cool. The fact that you can choose to go into a mission alone, or you have the option to take 5 Marines with you if you really want, you know, if you don't really want to do it yourself. Or if you think you might need that wee bit of extra backup or something. It's just really cool because, well, yeah, in the earlier Halos you kind of had backup every so often, but they ended up dying, so it's kind of useless. I guess I think it's a really cool aspect. And then, like, just the grapple hook, just traversing the land is so much easier, because you can just, once you get to grips with the grapple hook, like I did, I felt like Tarzan, man, and I was all over the place. It was so fun. It added an extra layer of fun to Halo. And then, like, I have also liked the banter. Like, you meet this guy, I don't know I can't remember his actual name, but he's like Echo 116 or something like that. But he's the guy that basically saves your life at the start of the game. And once you go, this whole time, he's like, can we go home? And Master Chief's like, but there's guys over there. The Master Chief, this whole time, is just like, but that guy called me smelly. This guy said I can't shoot. This guy said I can't kill them all. And then there's the Echo guy is just like, but Earth. we need to go back to Earth! And Master Chief is like, give me a minute. So that's basically the premise of the game, is this guy wants to go home and the Master Chief's fucking holding him hostage. But what I was going to say is that the banter between both him, Master Chief, and the weapon, I guess, Cortana 2.0, is really funny. Because even at the start of the game, this Echo guy, the pilot, he doesn't even trust Cortana or the weapon, because as far as they're aware, well, Cortana was bad at this point, you know, she'd went rampant and corrupt, so not a lot of people trusted Cortana, I don't think. So he had trust issues towards the weapon, but kind of throughout the game, yous realise that yous are all yous have. Like, you and the Cortana and the Master Chief are all the Echoes go, and vice versa, so you kind of do build up a wee bond there, and they start to get a wee banter going, and it's really funny, and it's good when they pull up sarcasm, and then the weapon's like, oh, you're being sarcastic. It's just wee snippets, you know, and it really brings the game forward. It really keeps you engrossed in it, I feel. Just wee parts like that. I'm easily amused. But yeah, so honestly, there hasn't been a part of this game that I haven't absolutely loved. There's probably parts that I'm not covering, but and just like the fact with the grapple hook, once again, you can grapple like the grenade things or like the canisters to you so you can pick it up and throw it. It's just awesome. I could fangirl about the grapple hook day and night. Honestly, it's innovation in technology. But if you haven't used the grapple hook yet, I highly suggest it. You also get like a drop shield and an enemy sensor and like a booster to like boost to the left or whatnot. And they all have their perks. Obviously, the enemy sensor is actually quite decent. I'd never used the booster. I thought I would have, but nah, the grappling hook does it for you. And then obviously the shields are really good to have, because if you fully upgrade them, then if you shoot through that, it will be like electrical projectiles, so you can like stun enemies and that if you shoot through it. So it does have its perks if you fully upgrade them. And the grapple hook also stuns enemies if you fully upgrade that. So all your wee perks have their bonuses, of course. And again, it was different to having perks, having things to level up in a Halo game. I don't know why I'm calling it Mass Effect, but that's something we never really got in Halo, was like a leveling up system at all. You never got that, but it was actually really fun. I thought it was quite cool. It was a different way of playing Halo, which I loved. And then you have like those wee collectibles for you to go find, like Forerunner artifacts and UNSC audio logs, and it's basically all just audio logs, but they're wee snippet information fillers, you know, like they'll fill some gaps, I guess, for you that you might be missing. I haven't intentionally went to go look for them, but I have obviously came across quite a lot, and they're really interesting to hear, because it's the Master Chief hearing them, and he's in them, a couple of them anyway, and you just think, well, I think to myself, like, how upsetting is that? Like, he's listening to these Spartans die, and he's now the only one left. So I can only imagine reheating all that must be quite difficult for him. I think there's gonna be a showdown, definitely. We're gonna have to fight this main lady, Harbinger is her name, that's the boss lady's name. I don't want to give too... Well, actually, I was going to say I don't want to give anything away about her, but honestly, I don't know anything about her. I think she might be Forerunner. I don't know, there's a lot of other species, like they're called the Endless or something, that have been mentioned, but we don't know what they are yet, so I'm going to assume there's going to be more than like one installation to the Halo Infinite, hopefully series. I don't know though, because I don't know how the game ends. This is just me, this is just what I want for the end of this game. It's just more a Halo Infinite, more grapple hook, but more importantly, maybe more what happened in between 4, 5 and Infinite, you know? Unless that's all in the audio logs and I've just no fun enough of them to know what's happened, or to be 100% sure what happened. And then, well, obviously the Reformation is happening. This is... I'm sorry. But this is what we're trying to stop. The ring got destroyed at the end of 3, and basically these the Forerunners / Covenant / whoever are trying to rebuild the rings, and the Master Chief obviously doesn't want that to happen, and I'm sure it's called the Reformation. So throughout the whole game we're stopping the Reformation, but for what I read, that already started in Halo 5? I don't know, I might have read that wrong. Don't quote me, don't quote me. I'm great at these reviews. Like the video if you think I'm doing a great job. Like the video if you don't think I'm doing a great job. Because I don't. And I'm gonna smash like. But, so yeah, we're trying to stop this thing from happening. We're trying to stop them from rebuild the ring. So, I can only assume there's going to be more Halo Infinites. They may not be called Halo Infinite 2, but a foley up. I want foley ups to this. I want to know what happens. Obviously, I need to finish it to know, but that's no point. But I guess there's a lot of information for us to get a few still. I don't know. If you've played this, then I guess if you've completed it, don't spoil it for me, please. But like, what were you wanting for this? What were you wanting for this game? And did you receive what you wanted? Did you pick up what they were dropping? You know? Or do you think it was a pile of shit? Because, as I say, as soon as I started playing this, I've honestly just loved it. The Master Chief was as dry as ever. He was as non-talkative as ever. He was great. It was like being away again. I felt like I was younger and playing Halo again. Halo 1 and Halo 2. It was just so good to be back as Master Chief and absolutely spectacular biomes as well. Like when you're going through the towers and all that, and I just kept thinking to myself, imagine if Halo 1 and 2, or just the Halos were made in these days. Because this is what it would look like. Like, I know you had the Master Chief collection, but I just don't think they look as good as this. Halo Infinite is just stunning. And it just felt really good to be back. And being in the towers, again, it just brought back so much nostalgia, because you're in this area that like just seems like it's constantly repeating itself. It's not really, but like the towers are all kind of, the 4 towers at the end of the game are kind of the same thing. But you know what I mean? It just the Covenant. Well, it looks like, I don't know if it's Covenant. I think it's Forerunner actually. But it's just very nostalgic, you know, and in the best possible way. I mean, is nostalgia ever bad? Well, I guess, but shut up. But you know what I'm trying to say? I had a lot of fun playing this, and I know the video's dragging out a bit. I'm sorry, I was trying to make this short as well. But there's probably things I'm missing as well. But I guess as long as you get the point that I absolutely loved it, the grapple hook's amazing. And hopefully we get more of just this type of Halo. Don't go back to 5, please, or 3 or 4, I mean, because I think Halo 5 is the best game since Halo Reach. And now I know a lot of people weren't fans of Halo Reach, but that's just my opinion. Halo Reach was one of my favourite Halo games, and I don't know, that might be nostalgic because like I used to play with my brother, I used to play with my pals, I played it with a lot of people, and I'm sure a lot of you are the same, that Halo Reach meant a lot, or just Halo in general means a lot to a lot of people. So when like you had 5 and it didn't even have the Master Chief in it, it kind of felt like a kick to the home Oz, as they say in Glasgow. You know, it's like, oh, okay, where's Master Chief? Where's this guy I've been playing as for years, you know? But no, they've brought him back, looking better than ever, but with a new companion called the Weapon, and a new relationship to form with complete lack of distrust at the end of the first game. Well, for what I've saw anyway. It could get worse than what I've seen. So, you know, I don't know where it's gone. I'm looking forward to seeing where it's gone. I'll probably complete it before the new year. So I could have just waited a week to make this video, but I just wanted to get it out before the new year, just so that, well, just so that I had stuff out actually. But, troops. I mean, maybe I'll do like a second installment and actually get my information right. Get my facts straight. And actually finish the game. But if you've played it, or if you're wanting to play it even, I guess then let me know in the comments below. If you have, how do you think it compares to other Halos? And what are your favourite Halos? Mine's is probably 2, or Halo Reach, as I mentioned. They're just my favourites. And so let me know what your favourites are. Are you a fan of 1, 2, 3, Reach, ODST? Do you prefer the Halo Wars? Let me know in the comments below. And then, if you've played this, please let me know what you think about it. Please, do you think it was worth? By the way, this was supposed to be like last year, 2020, but they delayed it because fans weren't happy with the art style. Part of me is kind of happy that happened now. But I thought it looked amazing when me and my brother, we both saw the trailer and we were like, oh, this looks stunning. And then people weren't happy with it, so it got delayed another year. But honestly, I'm kind of glad. Because the end result for this, for me, was fucking perfection. This is one of the nicest looking games I've ever played. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. And I'm not just saying that because it's Halo and because I'm an Xbox fangirl, because I played it on the PC, so get it up, ye. Getting on. I'm sorry. I did play it on the PC though, so it's nothing to do with the console wars. So, it's not my perfect game. It's just perhaps gameplay-wise the perfect Halo, in my opinion. And looks-wise, fuck, as well. It's just stunning. But, yeah. I think you can get the idea that I'm a big fan of the game. And I'm not going to waste your time any longer because I have made this video last longer than I wanted. I apologise. I'm not good at keeping things short and sweet. I feel like maybe I should stop saying it and it would be short and sweet. I don't know. But yeah. And if you haven't played it, please let me know if you want to. Or if you don't want to play it, what is putting you off? Like, obviously, if you're not a fan of Halo, I get that. You don't want to play it, that's fine. But if you have played other Halos, or if you're a fan of Halo, but you don't want to play this, then what's making you think that? What's putting you off playing it? And if no, then just do you want to play it? And what do you think it, if you have? Because I'm sure you know that I just called it the perfect Halo. Do you agree? Or am I talking blasphemy? So, I guess I'm going to end that there. I know there probably is a lot of information I've missed out. Like, I'll maybe try and fill it in through text or something. Or I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not great. I should have written notes. I didn't make notes this time. But I've probably missed things out about Cortana and the Master Chief's relationship, or probably something about Forerunners or Precursors or the Gravemind or something. There's gonna be something in there that I hope somebody could be like, hey, you forgot to mention this. And I'll be like, oh, sorry. I don't know. It's Christmas. It's a happy time. But, so I'll just leave you there. I'll leave you with that. I'll leave you with my opinion, and that I'm genuinely keen at a 10 out of 10. You know what? No. I'll get a 9 out of 10. Purely because I've not finished it yet. The ending could make or break it, you know? It could be one of the wins. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. That is just my personal opinion. If you don't agree, then let me know why. Like, do you think it's worse? Do you think it's better? Do you think I'm bigging it up way too much? Or, like, do you think I'm not giving it enough credit? So, let me know what your opinions are on Halo Infinite. And I do kind of also want to apologise for being all over the place. Like, this is what happens when I don't write notes. Even when I write notes, it's all over the place. But I do apologise. I always get caught in tangents. Like, I'll mention something, and then I'll see something, and I'll be like, oh no, I need to talk about this. And I'll be like, oh, but I forgot I was talking about this. And it's just on it. My mind is, it's chaos. But I really enjoyed doing this, and I really enjoyed playing Halo, obviously. So, yeah, just let me know what you thought of it in the comments below, troops. And if you haven't already, then please, I would absolutely appreciate it if you subbed to the channel and liked the video. And also put your notification bell on so that you know when the next video's out. But also just so that, you can help me grow. Because that's my goal next year. Grow. So, troops, I would really appreciate it. And then come join me in the comments below. I'm sometimes terrible at replying, but I do get there. I have the brain of a chipmunk / fish. Like, there's a lot going on, but at the same time, nothing. It's fucking chaos. So, don't think I'm an arsehole. Just think, wow, she's got something on her mind. I'm kidding. But truth, wherever you are, no matter what you celebrate, even if it's Christmas or whatnot, man, I just hope you're having a nice time this time of year. I hope you're being safe, and I hope you can have a nice time. I don't know everybody's on the same boat. Not everybody's can have a good year, but I just hope you can have as good a one as you can. And again, stay safe. It is also very crazy out there sometimes, especially because of COVID now and are coming. Know that it went away, but you know what I mean. And there's another variant in, well, at least in Scotland or Britain there is. So it's getting kind of chaotic again. I'm going to assume it's not just Britain, obviously. But just look after yourselves, troops, and try and stay as safe as you can. And have as nice a holiday season as you can do. So, until the next time, troops, wherever you are, day or night, I hope you're having a good one. And I keep saying that. You should make this into a drinking game. Whenever I say until next time, you take a shot. Unless you're underage, and then you take a sippy cup. And then you take a wee scoosh of your Capri Sun, you know? Until then, troops, thumbs! No, stay clean and safe. Thumbs! And the Master Chief and Cortana / the weapon / 2.0 Cortana. I don't know what that was supposed to be. But we're all out of here! Happy holidays!
What do I call her?
Ask her. She named herself.
Hello, Master Chief. I'm Cortana.